So, Happy Chinese New Year. Meron kasing Chinese devotee nandito sa temple, so I have to go and they're celebrating now Chinese New Year. Nag-hi lang ako kasi may class. So yes, sino dito yung nakapag chant for the last few days? Sino yung tuloy-tuloy nakapag-chant dito? That would be really, really awesome. So, iba yung feeling kapag tuloy-tuloy. It's a small accomplishment. It's a big actually. Pero small time that is being required kasi we are continuing our commitment. Nowadays, people are very afraid of commitment. Ayaw nila ng label. Ayaw nila ng mga, well, takot sila sa commitment because of the responsibilities and other stuff packaged with this. So, the autonomy, then you have to, whatever happens, kailangan mo panindigan. And the maintenance is the hardest. Starting something is starting something is very easy. Start a relationship to once swipe to the right, diba? Tapos ending a relationship, napakadali lang din. Pero to maintain a relationship, not that easy. You can buy a car, diba? Mas mabilis lang. You can wreck a car, mas mabilis din. Pero maintaining a car, hindi rin ganun kadali. Diba? I have this friend, devotee rin siya, bhakti yogi rin siya. Tapos I have to drive kasi ginamit ko yung sakyan nila. Tapos, ba't ganun iba yung tunog ng makina nung, I think CRV yata yun. Di ba yung tunog? Tapos, nagpagas kami, chinek namin lahat. Tapos, walang oil. Tapos, ginagamit niya for years. Ay, nilalagyan pa ng oil yan. Hindi niya alam. So, yun naman, yun yung maintenance, di ba? Mayroong regular, of course, and you have to check palagi. So, it's not easy. Much more sa ating spiritual life. Pero when we get the taste, kumbaga naging second nature mo na, para ka lang humihinga, lagi mo nang naisip si Krishna. Hopefully, dumating tayo sa stage na yon. Pero at least we could chant our rounds, hindi kompleto yung araw natin. That would be nice. Kapag na-feel mo na hindi kompleto yung araw mo kapag di ka napag-chant. Instead of, alam mo yung starting, ang hirap eh. Alam mo yung pag nag-exercise ka, ang hirap tignan. Kailan ba to? Previously, nag-start ulit ako magtumakbo kasi matagal ako tumakbo. Matagal kami nagtitinginan ng running shoes ko. Diba? Mag-sipping ropes na lang ako, kaya yoga na lang ako dito sa ashram. O kaya kettlebell na lang kaya. Diba? Oh, baka umulan. Di ba ang daming bargaining na nangyari. Pero pag tumatakbo ka na, okay, buti nang tumakbo ako. Half of the time, di mo gusto mag-workout. Diba? Pero pag andun ka na sa flow, buti ginawa ko. Diba? So, same thing. When we are chanting, ang hirap, di ba? You have to find time. Okay, gigising pa si Radha Chano. Pwede ba tanghali yung japa session? Di ba? Or meron pa tayo, kunyari, we are dependent sa substance like coffee. Hindi pa ako tao kapag di ako napag-coffee. Di ba? May mga ganun tao. Di ba? So, ba't pwedeng coffee muna bago mag-chant? O kaya coffee habang nagka-chant? So, pag wala yung mga ganung conditions, we could continue. People are people wants unconditional love, unconditional connection, di ba? Pero tayo ang dami nating conditioning. Kaya tinatawag tayong conditioned souls. Ang dami nating conditiones. So, but yeah, speaking of yung mga substances and high and all, not everyone here is very naive with this because we're trying to find different kinds of happiness. Or sometimes escape. Or sometimes just adventure. Diba? So, yung iba may mga experiences with these substances, especially now, ang daming documentaries. Some will take it or will have some studies na it could cure some other like PTSD or whatsoever, or may therapeutic effect, or nootropic effect, or sometimes it's just, substance recreational or sometimes abuse. Diba? Pero why people are taking this kind of things? They need this, even like very simple, like alcohol, alak, di ba? Why do they need this? Why do people need this? They need something that will make them feel extra or forget something and remember something. Or like, wala, kick off some hormones lang, happy pill lang sila. But ang sad thing, sa lahat ng to, if you've been experimenting with this, ano yung mapapansin nyo? After you take it, bumababa. The high will go down. And there are, of course, consequences. The body, the mind, diba? The getting used to it. It will affect our hormones, diba? If those who are taking ecstasy, diba? Iba yung pakiramdam. Ecstasy kasi parang you're extra happy because of the hormones. Then when you're out of it, yung mga glands, hindi na siya nagpo-produce ng right hormones for it. So, depressed na sila. So, these are substances kasi they want to get high. High means, yeah, so nagka-crush sila. So, high means you're above yung mga normal feelings. And people are talking meron din natural high. And we will talk about the spiritual high. Yung pinaka-trippy na pwede yung ma-experience, na-experience ni Arjuna. Way, way beyond. So, let's continue. Yan. Dami pala. Just paid for car maintenance. Di ba? Ang hirap mag-maintain ng kotse. So yes, let's continue. We will have 2 chapters tonight. And let's try to make it fast kasi yung ibang story doon ko na nisisingit sa question and answer. Yesterday, 1 hour yung question and answer. Pero in-upload natin yun. Nasa Facebook din. Ay, nasa YouTube yun. So last time we talked about C. So the site, this is the chapter 10. The source of everything, that's Krishna. And we have the 4 essence of Bhagavad Gita in 4 verses. So si Krishna yung creator, the source, the cause of the spiritual and material world. And our relationship to Him, we are the minute soul. And we want to serve Him. So once we know that Krishna is the supreme, His position, alam mo na rin yung position mo. You will quit playing God. So you will know your position. Then Krishna mentioned that those who are always conscious of Him, He always dwells in Krishna's heart and mind. Laging iniisip ni Krishna yun. Hindi lang siya one way, it's a relationship. Si Krishna is hindi impersonal. So this is a personal relationship. And of course, we know that Krishna mentioned tesam satatayuktanam. So Krishna, because of the loving service ng kanyang devotee, He gives the understanding. So that's the key. Di ba naalala niyo yung story ng South Indian priest or Brahmana na illiterate? Because of his love and devotion, he understood. In comparison dun sa mga scholars. So very important yung love and devotion. And of course, yung mercy ni Krishna. We could get that mercy by love and devotion. And yung extra special mercy ni Krishna, just one light lang ng lamp, all the darkness in our hearts will be gone. You don't need all the process, the long processes. Krishna could remove them. And Krishna is everywhere. He mentioned that you can see in different perspective, we should see Krishna. And the best way to see Krishna is through hearing. Kasi this is Krishna's words directly, His song. And we should see Krishna through chanting and hearing. So that's actually devotional service. When you are chanting, that's also devotional service. That's the most important actually. So inhale. Session 14.1, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11. This is the universal form. So ang acronym natin is Rupa. Rupa means form. Universal form kasi the universe is Krishna. Oh, thank you, universe. Buti na lang inarrange ng universe. That's so impersonal. Nothing wrong kasi bakit na tayo naging ganon? Because we grew up in a place where the culture is um, may prevalent na religious practice. Tapos may resistance na tayo kasi either na-corneran ka na, may hypocrisy ka nakita from those other practicing or mismong mga leaders. Diba? We find it not so authentic. So, of course, almost all, not all pero almost, yung mga spiritual or religious practices are very good. In certain level, yung iba, tuturuan ka how to become human, tuturuan ka how to be a proper um, servant sa ibang tao. And of course, merong how to become a proper servant ni Krishna or having that relationship in different grade. So, kumbaga, may pang nursery, may pang grade school, pang high school, pang college, pang graduate, di ba? So, different level. Depende kung ano yung gusto mo, ano yung desire mo na relationship sa kanya. So, this is Krishna's arrangements. So, yun nga, medyo na-cornea na tayo dun sa um, yung word na God or Lord, di ba? Parang, see, may kalang feeling na tas we're embracing impersonalism. The light, di ba? The universe. In some other way, yung ibang religious practice are impersonalistic. The Supreme don't have a form. So, sobrang daming ganun. Because, well, hindi mo masisisi. Ganun lang yung kaya nung audience eh. Ganun lang kaya nung tao to, alam mo yun, to adopt. So, that's still better than wala. So, here, si Arjuna, actually, nagkas na niya si Krishna. In-explain na yung essence of Bhagavad Gita, that 4 verses. Pero si Arjuna continuously asked and requested Krishna for him to see Krishna's universal form. May different reasons bakit. So, letter R, request. So, hindi nag-demand si Arjuna. Nag-request pa rin siya. So, pag nakita niyo yung chapter 11, sino dito yung nasa chapter 11 na binabasa or approaching? Oh. So, si chapter 11 is the universal form. Very trippy to. Ang ganda ng description. Why Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form? 4 points. To establish Krishna's divinity for all. To convince others, to avoid imposters, and in the future, para malaman hindi theoretical lang. So, in yung G's neto, si Krishna, siya yung original personality of Godhead. Aside sa nasa scriptures, marami kasi talagang imposters. Pumunta ka lang sa Quiapo, marami incarnation doon. Sa India, marami incarnation daw ni Krishna. Or even yung mga pseudo-gurus na uso ngayon sa internet na maraming followers around the globe. After nila explain, minsan i-explain pa nila kung ano-ano yung different perspective yung Bhagavad Gita pero impersonalistic. Then at the end, they will point na sila yung Supreme, sila yung God incarnation sila. So here's the thing. So ginawa ni Arjuna yon kasi if Krishna descended here, may incarnation siya, he could show his universal form. So pag may nag-play God, talangin mo siya, sige nga, pwede mo pakita sa akin universal form mo. Diba? He's beyond the mysticism, the magic, or yung mga, ano mo yun, mystic powers. Beyond si Krishna, no, kaya gawin lahat. So this is to establish Krishna's divinity. So halos lahat ng incarnation ni Krishna, ginawa niya to. Nagpakita siya ng universal form. So parang nagbigay ng standard. Hindi ka pwede magpanggap kung sino-sino na God ka. Sige, gawin mo to. So pag di na magawa yun, they're imposters. So this is Krishna's universal form. Nasa gitna sila ng battlefield, nakikita ni Arjuna yun. Yung iba are not seeing it. Those who have the eyes. So universal form, Krishna's description of his universal form. In-explain ni Krishna, see my opulences, hundreds and thousands of very divine and multicolored forms. We have limited eyes or sight and limited perception ng colors and shapes. Hindi ko alam kung sino yung nakapag-psychedelic dito, pero ma-experience niyo, siguro hindi mo ma-explain, pero may nakita kang something na wala dito. It is just like explaining the kaleidoscope to a blind person. So just visions and lights, di ba? And shapes. So si Krishna sinabi niya, hundreds and thousands of varied, divine, and multicolored forms beyond na-experience natin. So hindi mo rin siya yung papakita ni Krishna, hindi mo rin mako-compare dun sa psychedelic experience. Sobrang layo. So sabi ni Krishna, these forms are manifestations of Adityas, Vashus, Rudras, Ashvini Kumaras, and all other demigods. These are different higher beings. No one has ever seen or heard of this before. And in that spot, yung whole universe, the whole space, pinakita ni Krishna kay Arjuna, siniksik niya, in-encapsulate niya. And you could see the past, present, and future. So, but yung pinag-usapan natin last night, saan ko ba kunento yun? Sa question and answer about time, di ba? So, no one could see this. Sa battlefield, hindi nakikita ng mga tao. One should have a divine vision. So, for one to have that divine vision, si Krishna rin nagbibigay nun. Para makita mo. So, of course, he will give it to Arjuna because nag-request siya. So, ni-describe ni Krishna the past, present, and future. Diba? All the higher beings na galing sa kanya. Siya yung fountainhead, diba? Siya yung Godhead. Another perspective, second one, naalala yung si Sanjay. Diba yung bulag si Dhritarashtra, in-explain Sanjay. Meron siyang doon, screen share. Nakikita yung nangyayari sa battlefield. So, nakikita niya rin ni Sanjay. Tapos, in-explain niya to kay Dhritarashtra. So, unlimited divine, wondrous, and brilliant forms. Unlimited mouths, eyes, ornaments, weapons, garlands. Inconceivable. Hindi mo maintindihan yung potency ni Krishna. And si Arjuna nakikita lahat to sitting in one place. Isipin mo yung buong space, yung buong time. You will experience it encapsulate doon sa spot na yon. Encapsulated sa spot na yon. More radiant than hundreds and thousands of suns. Nakita mo pag umaga, maliwanag, di ba? Compare mo sa gabi. Multiply mo yun by isipin mo magdalawang araw kung gaano kaliwanag yun. Tapos multiply mo sa hundreds and thousands of suns. Gaano ka-effulgent si Krishna. So hindi mo kailangan pag naglakad si Krishna, hindi niya kailangan ng street light. Maliwanag sa kanya. Sa spiritual world, ganoon, walang ilaw. Di ba? Walang lamp na, alam mo yun, o kaya may maliwanag lahat doon. Galing doon sa effulgence ng tao. Hindi mo na kailangan ng mga third eye para makita mo yung aura ng tao. Talagang lumiliwanag sila. If you see mga saintly person, yung gurus and all, nakita mo iba yung aura nila. Just seeing them. What more pa si Krishna? Siya yung source ng lahat ng to. So seeing everything at one place, others on the battlefield could not see. So kasi wala silang spiritual vision. Pero si Arjuna became bewildered and astonished. So di ba may friendly relationship sila? Nawala yon. Napunta dun sa own reverence, sa wonder. Kung nakita niyo yung picture, dito siya. Nabibewildered din siya. Ano nangyayari? So different relationship na experience ni Arjuna kay Krishna. This proves that Krishna is the source or reservoir. Pinanggagalingan ng lahat ng relationships. So yan, folded hands. Ating picture. So my third description nung universal form ni Krishna na sa Bhagavad Gita. This is coming from Arjuna. All living entities at one place. Nakita niyo yung 8,400,000 species of life in one place. All the demigods and living entities assembled in that form. Even si Lord Brahma, the other demigods, even Lord Brahma, nakita niya yung form ni Lord Brahma kung paano siya nanggaling kay Lord Vishnu, kay Krishna. So, Krishna is unlimited, many arms, bellies, mouths, eyes, no end, no beginning, no middle. Alam mo yun, pag nakita mo yung, alam mo, pag tumingin ka sa sa salon or sa barber shop, di ba may salamin? Unlimited, di ba? Pag titignan mo, parang hindi mo makita yung dulo. So, kakaibang analogy. Pero alam mo kung saan nanggaling. Tapos this time, pag nakita mo si Krishna, hindi mo malaman kung paano, kung saan. So, blazing like sun. Ito yung nakita niya, sobrang radiant. And a very difficult sight to see. Sobrang liwanag. So, of course, just like our study ng Bhagavad Gita, the yoga philosophy, it's very hard to understand Krishna. We're trying, we're requesting for some fraction of understanding kay Krishna. Having this brain, limited brain, to understand the Supreme. Imagine yun. So, ganun din. Si Arjuna trying to explain yung nakikita niya. He is trying to say, you're the Supreme Lord. Of course, may statement siya ng mga sinasabi. Primeval, the primal, the oldest, di ba, maintainer of everything. Yung eyes and yung sun and moon daw yung eyes niya. So, past, present, and future. Nakita mo meron yung personality na may apoy yung mouth. So, ito pa, further description. Blazing fire coming forth. Tapos spread throughout planets and skies. Tapos yung ibang demigods nakikita niya, nagpa-mantras, nagka-pray, tapos yung ibang mga yogis, nag-meditate kay Krishna, nagka-chant sila. Then, yung relationship niya, naging fearful na masyado si Arjuna. Bakit? Nakikita rin niya yung future. Nakita niya rin yung mangyayari doon sa war. Nakita niya yung soldiers from both sides pumapasok sa mouth ni Krishna, being crushed. Tapos yung iba nga doon naiipid doon sa ngipin ni Krishna. Everyone, except them, yung mga magkakapatid na yun. So, yan sila Bhishma, yung mga teacher niya, yung lolo niya, mamatay lahat. So, para daw siyang waves sa rivers na napunta sa ocean. Ganun kadami. Tapos, they're just dying, just like a moth na napupunta sa blazing fire. Alam mo yung pag Jose Rizal type na nagsusulat siya tapos may lampara. Tapos, the moth will just go to the light. Tapos, nasusunog sila. So, same thing. This is death. Everyone is dying. Sabi ni Arjuna, you're all devouring. All people from all sides, your effulgence is covering all the universe with terrible scorching rays. So nakikita ni Krishna ni Arjuna na mananalo sila. Pinakita ni Krishna. Actually, sabi ni Krishna, actually Arjuna, I killed them all. Already. Kailangan mo lang gawin yung duty mo. Kailangan mo lang gawin yung role mo. Parang artista. Tapos na yung story. Kailangan mo lang gawin yung role mo. So, pinakita ni Krishna yon. So, out of fear na nasa fear stage na relationship na si Arjuna. Then he asked, in great fear, asked two questions. Who are you? And what is your mission? Krishna, in the form of universal time, replies to Arjuna's two questions. Time, I am the destroyer of everything. Kala Rupa, the form of time. Rupa is form, Kala is time. So Krishna is the form of time. Even devoured like a meal. So, alam mo yun, hindi lang siya simple giant, supreme giant. The whole universe is Krishna. So, si Arjuna, anong ginawa niya? He prayed. He recognized Krishna. This is how we connect to Krishna. We always glorify His greatness, sweetness. Sabi nga niya, He's worshipable by everyone. Kasi nakita niya everyone, the demigods, the saintly persons are worshiping Krishna. The essence of everything. Lahat ng ginagawa mong essence and connection kay Krishna. Ganun ka close, ganun ka indirect, or direct, or ganun ka layo. Always connecting kay Krishna. Then He offers His obeisances, His respect. From front, behind, and from all sides. Tapos sabi niya ni Arjuna, he's begging for forgiveness. Remember yung relationship nilang dito, out of fear na siya. Kasi tinit niya dati parang, teka lang, trinit kita ng as ordinary friend. Minsan sabay tayo kumakain. Tapos nag-aagawan tayo. Alam mo, nagbibiroan sila. Tapos ikaw, alam mo yun, na-overwhelm siya. Tapos he falls to the ground, begs for mercy. Tapos siya yung Supreme Father. So out of fear, ni-request ni Arjuna yun. No? Pero sabi niya, please withdraw this form. Tanggalin mo na because I'm getting really fearful. Can you show your four-handed form? Ni-request ni Arjuna. The four-armed form ni Krishna. That is Lord Vishnu's form. Another incarnation ni Krishna. So, siya yung role na secondary creator. Doon din galing yung mga demigods. So, tinanggal ni Krishna yung universal form. Pinakita niya yung four-arm form niya. Then afterwards, pinakita ni Krishna yung two-arm form niya. Yung pinaka-important form ni Krishna. Yung sweetness niya doon mo maki-feel and mararanasan. So letter A natin doon sa Rupa is arm-formed. Only pure devotee sees Krishna's two-arm form. Krishna can be revealed only by pure devotional service. You cannot penetrate to this relationship kay Krishna if you are, especially kung gusto mo yung light lang, silaw ka lang kay Krishna. Nakita mo yung light lang, nothingness yung meditation mo, hanggang doon lang talaga. And if you are, naalala niyo yung story natin kahapon, doon lang siya sa labas ng presidential house, White House or Malacanang, hanggang doon lang siya or formal relationship sila. Kasi ganun yung relationship na binibuild niya. Ganun yung choice niya sa free will niya. So if you want to really know Krishna personally and have that relationship, then Krishna will reveal his two-arm form, the sweetest form. Sa four-arm form ni Krishna, merong weapons. He's destroying the demons. Because he has this tendency to fight as well. Diba yung tao mahilig sa boxing, dati pala may gladiator. Kasi nasa tendency ng tao, they want to see who will win. Diba? Si Krishna may ganun din, sa kanya galing yun. May pastime siya. Sino nanonood ng Little Krishna rito sa YouTube? So pastime ni Krishna yun. Naka-reference yun sa Krishna book. So si Krishna is fighting sa mga demons. Pero originally, devotee niya rin yun. So, the best demons are his devotees. Kailangan lang mag-play ng role. Kasi si Krishna wants to have that relationship. Pero this time, the two-arm form ni Krishna mismo, walang weapons. He has this flute playing spiritual vibrations, calling out his devotees. And everyone was so enamored, intoxicated. They are spiritually high pag tumunog na yung flute ni Krishna. As every night they see each other, they have this rasa dance, they dance together with music and kirtan and all. So that is Rupa. So please go back to earth kung medyo naging high kayo dun sa pinakita ni Krishna. Arjuna requested for this mainly to establish, put a baseline and prevent the imposters. So Krishna revealed these forms. May tatlong perception from na diniscuss dito. I mean, perspective and tatlong angle from Arjuna, Sanjay, and Krishna mismo. And Arjuna prayed na, could you remove this and show your original form, 4-arm form, then yung 2-arm form. So si Krishna nagkapakita ng arm form niya sa mga devotees. Si Krishna ayaw niya ng relationship sa kanya na own reverence lang. Of course, wala siyang magagawa kung ganun yung free will, ganun yung choice ng mga souls. Mas gusto niya yung very intimate, very close. Pero he's not giving it freely then. Kumbaga, we have to deserve it. It's love. Hindi mo pwedeng ipilit yung love. Si Krishna hindi niya ginagalaw yung free will natin. Love could not be forced. So, ganun si Krishna. And when one experiences this, we are having, alam mo yun, we are having some tastes, at least a drop. We're looking forward, at least a drop of this love kay Krishna. So, sometimes meron tayong, si Krishna may mga parang free taste, di ba? Parang ang sarap ng pakiramdam pag nagka-chant, di ba? Some are messaging me, naiiyak sila pag nagka-chant. Parang ocean of emotion, di ba? Nare-release yung bigat ng buhay nila. Those are just byproducts ng love kay Krishna. Imagine if you are that, alam mo yun, nag-swim ka sa ocean of love ni Krishna. Comparison dun sa drop. That will be really the spiritual high. Hindi mo makakompare sa mga experience dito. And you have the source. Diba? And the best thing, you will not crash. Walang sabi nga nila, there's no going down. So inhale. Please go back to earth. Nandito na uli kayo. So the 12th chapter, di ba middle 6 chapters are the most important. Mabilis lang to. These are devotional service. Main title, this is devotional service. Yung acronym natin is God, the G-O-D, the Supreme. So mostly yung topic dito diniscuss natin previously. So dadaanan lang natin mabilis. G is Godhead. So yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's a comparison between personalist and impersonalist. If impersonalist, they engage in meditation on the Brahman, on the Brahmajyoti or the light, and manifest. So wala silang ganung relationship. Si Krishna, ganun yung reciprocation niya. He's just there. Nasa heart pa rin sila ng mga impersonalist. But of course, walang connection. Yoga means to connect. We want to connect. Personalist, he engaged himself with all energies in service of the Supreme Lord. He knows that he's a servant. And if you are a servant, you want many ways how to serve Krishna. Just like the mother. Yung mother, hindi naman siya 9 to 5 lang eh. O, ikaw na bahala. Tapos na yung trabaho ko. Sa lahat ng aspeto. Papaglutuan niya, alagaan ka niya. Pag may sakit ka, asikasuhin ka niya, di ba? Yung damit mo. Everything. All package yun, di ba? Si Krishna ganun din. And yung devotees niya ganun din. Lahat. Diba? Pag lumabas siya, makikita niya yung flowers, ay parang ganda i-offer kay Krishna niya to. Hindi niya nakiisip na to pick that flower and enjoy, tas yung aamoy, no? Niisip niya, hindi niya aamoyin yun, pero he will offer that to Krishna. Lahat nakikita niya in connection. So, personalist. Of course, you don't have to be extreme. Na nasa work ka na, tapos puro Krishna yung binabanggit mo, hindi ka na nagtrabaho. You have to be practical. Diba? Yung iba, they have to, just like si George Harrison, diba? Few songs niya, he mentioned Krishna. Sa concert niya, binabanggit niya palagi. Pero a few songs, like Here Comes the Sun, there's a book and documentation, sinabi niya si Krishna yon. Kasi he removes all the darkness. So, pwedeng indirect. So, ito yung difference sa personalist and impersonalist. So yes, back to yoga and Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is just accumulating knowledge, theoretical. So it doesn't mean na masama yon if you're studying Bhagavad Gita. That's Gyan, that's knowledge. But Bhakti Yoga, pag nilagyan mo ng action, knowledge plus the action of service. So, yung process ng Jnana Yoga is very troublesome. Kasi minsan yung part ng Jnana Yoga is yung sa mga mysticism lang. But theoretical lang. Diba? The Bhakti Yoga, we are engaging our senses. You cannot control your senses without engagements. You cannot control your tongue kapag di ka kumain ng, alam mo yun, hindi mo na-engage sa right food. You cannot just stop eating. Ay, yogi ako, hindi na ako kakain. So, hindi ganun. You have to, of course, engage in the right type of food. Pinag-usapan natin if you want to go plant-based or much more prasadam, learn how to cook. To use the spices, yung mga basic cooking. Madali lang magluto. It's an art then, di ba? Pero, alam mo yun, I know you could all do this. Some of you are already cooking. So, may comparison. I'll send this to you, of course. Comparison ng impersonalist sa personalists. Bhagavan is the supreme. Kaya Bhagavad Gita. Brahman is the light. The energy ni Krishna. So, ito lang yung realization nila. Of course, you want to realize, we want to go beyond do sa light to have that relationship to the supreme. Yan, simple and easy. Of course, simple kasi you need love. You don't need magic to be connected kay Krishna. He doesn't need magic. Those who are yogis with mystic powers, they could not get Krishna. You know who can capture Krishna? Just like the South Indian Brahmana, even illiterate siya. Kasi may love siya and devotion. So, very simple, di ba? It's easy even. Pero of course, maging hard siya pag marami tayong material attachments. So, yung mga ibang practice na mga cleansing, nako-connect doon di ba? Kasi attachments yan. So, letter O sa God is options. We could be in different stages sa life natin in the spirituality. So, this is not all or nothing. Paano yung Radhachara? Hindi ako ganito, hindi ako ganyan, hindi ganito yung practice ko. Diba, ang dami kong condition sa buhay ko, yung family ko, ganito yung sitwasyon. Kahit ano pa yung state mo, you can start to connect kay Krishna. The best place is here. The best time is now. Ano ba na nagsabi nun? What better place than here? What better time than now? Rage Against the Machine. So, siya yun. Ito yun. So, pwede kang, alam mo yun, very fixed na yung mind mo kay Krishna. If not, you're just trying to follow yung mga rules and regulations or regulative principles, how to become closer kay Krishna. If not, like those who are working for Krishna, directly serving Krishna. If not, yung iba, they're just favorable. Pero big deal na yun. It's like they're working, they could not think of Krishna, they could not go to the temple palagi, but they're helping. Any means or kind na matutulong nila. Iba nag-donate sila, or iba nag-send sila mga facilities, diba, para matuloy-tuloy yung mga service. Very favorable. Still, they are devotees, different stages. So, hindi siya pressured na dapat ando ka na sa stage kaagad. So, we have to acknowledge, we have all our attachments. We have all our situations sa buhay natin na hindi natin mababago. Hindi ka lang pwede magpalit ng family lang, no? Pwede ba mag-restart o kaya reshuffle ng family? O kaya ng sitwasyon sa buhay? Hindi, andun na yun eh. So, paano yung options na yun? Pero ang importante, you're moving forward. How to become closer and closer and closer kay Krishna. So, kung nakita niyo yung movie na the Hare Krishna film, because they were hippies. Tapos they're much more free, di ba? They wanted to be really full-time monks. They could do that. Some hindi naman. They still have work. Actually, si George Harrison gusto niya mag-shave ng head na. Gusto niyang mag-monk na. Ganon. Sabi ni Prabhupada, no. You could help and serve Krishna staying the way you are. Pero in-engage niya yung facilities, yung fame niya. Pag-serve kay Krishna, much better yon. So, doesn't mean kailangan mo maging monk para maging Krishna conscious. No. 1% lang yung mga nagiging monk. The rest, 99%, they have family, work, business, diba? They live yun, sa life outside the temple. 1% lang yun sa loob ng temple. But doesn't mean kapag hindi ka nakatira sa temple, hindi mo na madidevelop to. Si Arjuna nga, hindi naman siya full-time monk eh. Soldier siya. So we will learn this. Next week, papag-usapan natin yung mga stories ni Krishna. How his mother have this very nice relationship with him, his friends, and his lovers. We will learn that. Hindi sila mga monks, pero they have that very sweet relationship. So devotees disposition. So this is very important. I'll forward this to you then. Ito yung qualities of a devotee that endears one to Krishna. So this is how you treat yourself, others, and Krishna also. So I don't know kung nakikita nyo. Yan. Attitude towards oneself, nirmana, free from sense proprietorship. This is how he thinks. Krishna owns everything. He's just the caretaker. Even this body. Doesn't mean papamigay mo lahat ng gamit, no? But alam mo yun, walang attachments. So, also, he's free from false ego. The real ego is, or knowing oneself is, he knows that he's not the body. Ang ganda nito, isa pain-free, no? Gata vyataha. Magiging pain-free ka, well, of course, I'm not this body, diba? Pero pag alam mo to, na-aksidente ka, diba, ang sakit. Parang I'm not this body, pero ba't ang sakit? I'm still the body. That's normal, no? Kaya magtaka na kailangan wala ka nararamdaman or maging manhid ka, di ba? Maging cold ka na sa maging cold ka sa boyfriend mo or sa girlfriend mo. I'm not this body, I'm not. Diba? So pain-free is, of course, the attachment. Diba? Yung mga scenario, experiences, the problems even, they're all temporary then. You don't have to be attached. Ang masakit lang naman doon being attached, yung emotional. Oh, sinabi niya sa akin yun. Ito yung problema na naman. Alam mo yun. Pero, one way or the other, gagawin mo na solusyon eh. Doesn't mean wala ka mararamdaman, pero kaya mo pa iksiin yung moment na yun. Diba? Masaktan ka lang na onti para, okay, sige, paano yung solusyon na dito? Diba, ang sarap kung ganun tayo mag-isip. Wala ng drama. Yan, free from all endeavors means, of course, yung endeavor niya is not selfish. The way he does things, of course, he finds the connection indirectly or directly kay Krishna. Dealings with other living entities, non-envious siya. Diba? He is able to celebrate other success. Ito yung mahirap. Diba? Sino dito could do this? He's equal to friends and enemies. Diba? You don't consider a person as an enemy kahit ina-attack ka na. I mean, but you can defend yourself, of course, kung in a situation ka. Pero you don't see people as enemy. But of course, you can respect from a distance. Pero wala kang kinacarrying baggage na mag-grudge ka or galit na galit ka. Alam mo yung mga ganitong yung mga story sa mga teleserye. Diba? Umiikot yung scenario sa paghihigante. Diba? Very old school to movie na May mahilig sa movie dito. Kill Bill, Quentin Tarantino. Di ba? Si Torman, ano ka mo tayo pangalan? Basta, yeah. Sige, mahilig ako kay Uma Thurman. Kay Tarantino, kasi magaling siya magawa ng mga plot twist. Pero of course, sabi ko, mga pre-monk days, mga reference. Di ba umikot yung movie sa, ano niya, sa revenge niya? So, ang ganda, may action, di ba? Pero imagine mo yung buhay niya, di ba? Pwede siya mag-move on sa buhay niya. Of course, yung makuha na niya yung anak niya. Pero, naging mission na niya gumante. May checklist na siya na babalikan niya. People are just like this. Kailangan ko patunayan sa kanya kasi nilayat niya ako nung, yeah, it could be that person could be your inspiration. Pero yung attachment mo dapat hindi doon sa parang patunayan mo sa kanya. Parang luluhod na makatala. I mean, level na ganun. So, hindi papaikutin yung life natin just for revenge. Tapos yung person na yun, hindi pala niya alam na saktan ka niya. Di ba? Ang hirap nun. May dala-dala kang pain to that person. Pero hindi niya alam. Sabihin mo, out of nowhere, nasabi niya yun. He's just rude or wala sa culture niya. Walang etiquette. May sabi siyang word sa'yo. Tapos dinala-dala mo na yun. Hindi lang months, years. Diba? May trust issues ka na. Nag-build ka na ng wall. So, if one is, much more expanded yung consciousness niya, one will not see different person as friends or enemy. He sees them as soul. He sees them, baka karma ko to kaya na-experience ko. May ginawa ko sa kanya previous lives. Mabilis siya mag-move on. Ayun yung term. Pero hindi siya martyr. Diba? If that person is, alam mo yun, sinasaktan ka, parang, ganun siya, diba, rough, on the edges, ganun siya makipag-deal. So maybe iba yung culture, diba? Parang nagulat ako dati yung ganun parang, first time, may best friend ako, taga Cebu siya, tapos yung mga kamag-anak niya, mga Bisaya. Hindi ko alam, kala ko palagi sila galit kasi pinag-uusap sila. Di ba may ganon? Or dito, sa Batangas, malapit sa amin, parang pinagitna kami ng Batangas. Ganon sila magsalita, parang, teka lang, nagkakami ba kayo? Tapos dito sa temple, marami taga Iloilo and Bacolod. May part doon na ang sweet nila magsalita kahit galit na sila. Di ba may cultural difference? If mas lumalawak yung mind natin, mas naiintindihan natin yung itong bagay. So yung mga part na pwede tayo magtanim lang sa mga loob or grudges, pwedeng intindihin mo muna Parang, okay, baka may tigdaanan siya or may issue rin sa buhay. It will save you from a lot of pains and a lot of time, a lot of overthinking. So this is one part ng equal vision, not seeing enemies. So another thing is, ito reaction when things happen to him. He's satisfied, of course, easily satisfied. Self-controlled, diba? Yung, of course, self-control means he controls his senses, master of senses. Tolerant. And the more you're becoming tolerant, the more you will be tested. Sabi nga, the teacher in the game of tolerance is your enemy. And the more you can tolerate, the more hindi matatouch yung peace mo. So, equipoise in distress and happiness, he know these are temporary. Hindi ibig sabihin, hindi ka nangingiti or hindi ka na matutuwa. Pero alam niya, pag dumaan to, it could come, di ba? Pandemic, for sure, matatapos to. You don't have to be too much attached dun sa nangyari. It happened many times already. Matatapos na pandemic na to. Ganun din yung happiness, celebration, natapos din yun. So, both of them are temporary. So, pure, neutral, of course, neutral. Like, of course, they don't need to take sides dun sa mga divisions sa material, alam mo yun, rubber stamping. Dito ka, ito ka, pula ka, dilaw ka, anti-vaccine ka, pro-vaccine ka. You don't have to take part of this. Your souls. So, parang previous batch, meron siya na-realize, sabi niya, nag-practice siya ng bhakti, hindi na siya mapagpatol sa mga naririnig sa kanababasa niya. Dati pinapatulan niya lahat. So madami pa. And dealings with the Lord. Is determined in serving Krishna, whatever the situation is. Bigyan ka ng mga hirap na sitwasyon. Okay, I just need to chant. Bigyan ka ng masayang sitwasyon. Okay, I need to chant. But mind you, mas madali maalala si Krishna kapag nahihirapan tayo sa buhay. Di ba? Sabi nga, mas sincere yung prayers sa chapel, sa hospital, kaysa yung prayers sa church. Kasi sometimes there's just ginagawa na lang order taker si Krishna. Krishna, may sigat si God. God, bigay mo sa akin to, bigay mo sa akin yan. Sana sagutin na niya ako, pasa mo ako sa board. Ang dami natin re-request. Or ginawa natin doormat, di ba? Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Tapos ulitin niya next week. Ulit-ulit lang. So may ganung relationship, very shallow. Pero ang iba yung prayer kapag andun ka sa hospital, di ba? If you could give me second chance, ayusin yung buhay ko. I know, binibigyan mo ko lang parang second life ko na to, di ba? I'm willing to dedicate my life. May ganun eh, di ba? May differences. So he's very determined kahit anong sitwasyon niya sa buhay. Even if one is practicing bhakti. Minsan pag sobrang excited ka, minsan hindi mo naisip si Krishna, si Krishna may gawa na ito. Or nakalimutan mag-chant kasi busy, excited. Pero pag may problema ka na, Krishna. Diba? Lapit ka na ulit kay Krishna. So, either happiness and distress, one should be determined kay Krishna. So, dealing then, mind intelligence fixed entirely in the Supreme. So, dedicated, engaged yan. Devotional service and fixed. So, madami pa siya. And, i-send ko rin sa inyo to, of course. Last natin is letter D. Devotee's disposition. Ano yung position ng mga devotees kay Krishna? Dearest of all is one who makes Krishna as the goal of his life. Very dear kay Krishna. Is Krishna conscious? Krishna is equal to everyone. Yes. Mahal niya lahat. He's maintaining everyone. But those who are in that kind of relationship kay Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. If you want to forget Krishna, Krishna will give you the forgetfulness. If you want to see the light, Krishna can give you the light. If you want that very sweet relationship with Krishna, Krishna will give you that endearment. So if you read the Krishna book, yung mga tao may endearment kay Krishna, oh Lala, oh Gopal, diba? May ibang endearment sila. Sa material world, oh sweetheart, dear, diba? Babe. Kay Krishna may endearment din sila. So that is God. Godhead, si Krishna yung fountain na ng lahat. And there are different options, different stages natin. So this is not all or nothing. Whatever you can practice, you start. But of course, you can move forward a little bit. You don't have to stay sa comfort zone lang. Masarap and magandang practice yung medyo na-stretch tayo. Doon tayo sa stretch zone. You don't have to go doon sa panic zone. Hindi ka lang makilos kasi you are giving too much pressure. Di ba yung rubber band, nag-break doon sa pag nag-overstretch siya. So, comfort zone, wala nangyayari. Stretch zone, unti-unti. Just like when you're working out, di ba? The muscle adopts. So, ganun din yung mind natin, ganun din yung consciousness natin. We should always try to stretch a little bit. That's how growth works. Di ba yung muscle nag-grow sa ganun? Continuously increasing the weight or the endeavor effort. So, devotee's disposition, of course, is very dear sa mga devotees niya. Kasi yung devotees, ganun din yung love and devotion niya kay Krishna. What a way to practice yoga, right? The yoga of love. So before tayo mag-picture taking, assignment para sa mga right-brainer. Make an art in reference to the supreme universal form of Krishna. In any form of art. Diba? May mga artists na nag-drawing, nag-painting dito. Iba nagawa ng poetry. Whatever you can think of. So you can send this to me, show this to me. Deadline nito will be this weekend. So may time pa. So universal form ni Krishna. If you want to paint Krishna, you can. You can copy painting, or if you want to have your original, wala problema. So, sino ba yung mga... Ang dami mga gumawa dito before. Kaya may batch 3 yata or batch 4. Yung sobrang daming artists. So, you can bring out your artistic side. So, please open your camera kasi ano oras na. We haven't chanted tonight. You know how it is. Please don't let the day go by without chanting. So yes, I'm seeing everyone. Ayun, nakita ko na iba. Please open your camera. Picture taking tayo. Si Jake. Nagpakita na si Jake. And Marina. Hello, Marina. Hi. Yan. Hi, Kenny. Alright. So, okay, eyes in the camera. You know the drill. You can do your pranams. You can smile, of course. Uy, si Kevs to. Hi, Kevs. Hare Krishna. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. My dear ones, thank you very much. I'm always humbled and honored with your presence. Please, todo ingat pa rin kayo. But don't be afraid. And may namin pa tayong learnings na matutunan. If you want to join the Japa session every morning, 5:30 to 7 a.m. And tomorrow, meron din mga kinabitang podcast. We're discussing a deeper yoga philosophy from the Srimad Bhagavatam. You can join as well, Facebook or Zoom. Mas maganda sa Zoom, of course. And thank you, Bhaktin Bea, Bhaktin Blor, Bhaktin Shara, Krisha, Dan, Jake, JP, Carly, Keiko, Kenny, Maya, Mara, Marie, Maui, Nat, Sherab, kay Aika, kay Kevs, Makoy, Prabhu, Marina, Mataji. And if you are having your duties and responsibilities, please, you can carry on. You can share this knowledge. The best way is through our actions. Last time I checked, still, action speaks louder than words. So, we must practice this. There are people who will be really curious. So, yeah, you can share a little bit. Diba? Huwag mo silang biglain. Kwento mo sa kanila universal form. Diba? Yung yoga kasi, tapos in-explain mo yung universal form. One sitting. Yeah. So, yeah, we must know. We must be, we must know what do they need. Of course, the best thing that we could share is our action, our character, the building of our character in connection pa kay Krishna. So, thank you very much. If you have, sabi ni Blar, hanapin niyo yung artistic side niya. Andyan lang yan, sabi nga na. Diba? When we were kids, we learned how to draw first before we learn how to write. Shinape lang tayo ng academics para maging left-brainer. But of course, there are really logical thinkers. Pero of course, hindi nawawala yung artistic side. Andyan lang yan. So if you have questions, you can raise your hand. Or you can type pag masipag ka mag-type. Yes. Please, Dan Prabhu.
Hi, Hare Krishna. So it's actually about anapeksha. Is that correct? Anapeksha. The one where you're supposed to have a neutral stand on, like, let's say, pro-abortion or anti-abortion. You know. Does the word anapeksha mean parang you're neutral but you're still involved with the situation? Because parang yun nga, with abortion, it impacts like society on a big scale, and any other issue that has the two sides. So is it like Krishna consciousness to be involved while being neutral?
Yes, ang gandang question yun, becoming neutral. There are unbargainable facts that's coming from the scriptures na hindi natin pwedeng baliwalain lang. Just like life, like animals, they're living entities or given, even science, alam nila yon, di ba? Even people, di ba? Pag may pet ka, di ba? Can you say na wala siyang life? You want to protect. Alam mo, pag may pet, yung isang tao, naranasan ko kasi may dogs kami dati. Si Bea nakikita yung dogs namin dati. May studio pa kami. Mas magastos yung dogs kesa magpapacheck up mo sila. Pero yung tao hindi nagpapacheck up pag may nararamdaman. Di ba? Parang may mga vaccine pa. So, yeah. Ano na. Pero of course, because of society, because of yung conditioning natin, other animals became food. In different culture, yung pet mo, food nila. Diba? So, may mga ganitong yung conditioning ng mga tao. Pero, scriptures are saying, Christians saying, they're souls as well. So, in different anti and pro, may mga ganun yung society, pero hindi mo kailangan i-waste yung time doon. Like, yung sasabi mo sa abortion. Abortion is killing yung life na yon. And ang real birth daw, according sa scriptures, is yung time of conception. Not the birth outside. That's the second birth. The real birth is yung connection nung male and female. That's where the life begins. So, parang ganon. Meron ka ng from scriptures. But you don't have to, alam mo yun, focus on that. Tapos yung buong buhay mo, dinadikit mo doon. Hindi ako nagkasyan kasi nilalaban ko tong law na to. Eh, pwede naman if that's your work, that's your like, main priority sa buhay, that's your, alam mo yun, hat. Pero hindi lahat ng meron choice na pro sa ka-anti, puntahan mo na. So, may limit or, alam mo yun, may sweet spot sa kapupwesto. Kasi ang priority mo, spiritual life. Do your duties, spiritual life. Kung duty mo yun, like if you're a policeman, do your duty. Pero hindi ka pwedeng, parang si Arjuna, diba? May role siya maging soldier. Duty niya yun. Pag di niya duty, you could be involved in some way, pero you don't have to spend all your time and energy. Remember, we only have 24 hours a day. And we don't know kailan mag-expire life natin. We don't want to waste this life in temporary things. Doesn't mean di mo nilalaban yung those who are suffering and all. We can make ways then. But we don't need to spend all our time para doon lang. Remember, yung mga tao may choices din sila. You cannot change their point of view sa buhay din. And also, hindi ka rin todo aloof sa kanila na, hindi, ako, nagka-chant lang ako. Kayo na bahala dyan, bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Doesn't have to. Pero you don't have to, alam mo yun, ilagay lahat ng life air mo doon, lahat ng energy mo doon. So, another point sa pagiging neutral is, yun nga, yung friends and enemies. If buhos mo yung time mo doon sa enemy mo, ubos yung buhay mo. Or lahat ng, like if you're a famous person, lahat ng bash sa'yo, bubuhusan mo ng pansin, hindi ka na makakreate ng bagong project. Inihinto mo lahat ng, tawag doon, inihinto mo yung lahat ng asong kumakahol sa'yo. So, wala kang magagawa. So, same thing. Yung priority must to be Krishna conscious. Others na you have influence and in control, then you can do. Others na wala nun sa circle of influence mo. Alam mo yun, you must be humble enough para malaman mo, ay okay, I could just, show my support. Ito lang yung kaya kong gawin, di ba? Black Lives Matter. Pwede ka mag-ganon din, di ba? Pero hindi ka na makakapag-rally doon. Ang layo nung nag-rally doon, di ba? Pero mas discriminated yung Asian. So, in some way, di ba? Pag yung, parang ganito parang, Black Lives Matter, pero bakit di mo pa paglaban yung magkasaka sa Pilipinas? So, kasi foreign yun, di ba? Parang ganun, may perception na ganun eh. So, hindi mo kailangan lahat patulan. So, alam mo yun, safe, you must know your safe zone then in society. So, walang hard yes or no. Kaya siya neutral. So, yung sagot ko neutral din. Nasagot ko ba yung question mo kahit pa paano? Thank you, Dan. Yes, yes. So at least you know the priority is spiritual life. Si Krishna yung priority natin. And, next si Marab. We, um, we might be really concerned about this, alam mo yun, sa mundo. Pero even if wala tayo rito, tatakbo lahat. Diba? Mother Bhumi, Krishna is maintaining this material world. Sad but true, it will get worse. That's how it is. That's Kali Yuga. That's going to the end. Then another cycle of creation. So it will get worse. That's the scriptures din yun, Srimad Bhagavatam, description of Kali Yuga, what will happen in the future. So that's how, ayun yung part na yun eh. Just like our body, habang nag-age siya, may mag-fail, di ba? Fail yung kidney, fail yung nagpo-produce ng insulin, di ba? High blood pressure. Same thing with life. So there are things that you could not, but you can participate, di ba? Check your, ano yung kinukonsume natin? Is it damaging the earth, di ba? Or other animals, di ba? Other living entities. Check natin yung mga, alam mo yun, yung tawag doon, footprint ng human footprint natin. So you check that, kung ano yung ginagawa mo. That will be a big participation. Yes, Marda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, along the lines of devotional service, diba, na we think of Krishna and everything that we do and all of that. But there is, ano yung question ko? Ayun. My question is about spiritual bypassing. Na parang when we hide behind it already and yun. And it's something that happens quite often. So let's say in the case of Krishna consciousness, diba? Kasi yun nga, like when it's too extreme already, parang aside from being around, a community, how else can we pull ourselves back into that center, that sweet spot, so that we don't lose track or like, we don't spiritually bypass anything? What are the other ways that we can be accountable for ourselves also, in order to avoid this from happening? Kasi minsan yung spiritual bypassing can also be seen as some kind of like self-righteousness that may rub other people the wrong way. So, yan, how can we address that? How can we be more responsible for ourselves when it comes to that matter?
Yes, sobrang importante yun. Even other Bhakti Yogas that are experiencing this, those are really new. They think of themselves as the highest, self-righteous. That's why having a teacher is very important. Diba, yung first assignment, how to study Bhagavad Gita together with devotees, advanced devotees, so they could guide us. Just like planting this bhakti is just like a seed. So when yung mahilig sa sinet, andito ba ba? If you love plants, diba, kahit anong ingat mo, pero meron pa rin seed of mga grass, wild, mga grass na tutubo dun sa pot mo. Same thing with spirituality. Ego would be boosted up then. That's the danger also if one is not in line sa disciplic succession. Those who are just taking, alam mo yun, spiritual daw yung psychedelics, spiritual daw yung other mysticism. This could give rise to pride na better sila sa ibang tao. I have this knowledge, better ako sa ibang tao. Diba? So that's why you practice, first of all, is humility. Ano yung first na ginagawa natin sa umpisa? We pay respect sa mga teachers. That we're just instrument. And without them, wala tayong knowledge na makukuha. So humility is a big part of spirituality. And hindi siya tinuturo, hindi mo siya nabibili. Kung may sila sa Lazada, dapat bumili na tayo. Bukas, di ba? Tutu. Bili tayo ng stock ng humility, mga 5 or 6, di ba? Hindi eh. And you can claim na you're humble. Ganun din yun. If you claim na, humble nga ako eh. So that's the beauty of humility. And Krishna, he incarnated himself as a devotee, di ba? Yung kunyaton, si Lord Chaitanya, si Gauranga. He incarnated himself in the form of a devotee. in the character and example niya is humility. So we must practice this. So in a community, there should be a healthy relationship. And if you have a mentor, and if you are open sa mentor to correct you, sabi niya, the breakfast of champions, or feedback is the breakfast of champions. You're always longing for the things to improve coming from your mentor. I don't know if alam niyo si Johari's window. Alam niyo yung Johari's window? Johari's window, saan ba natutunan to? Pero very nice concept siya. Window, may 4 quadrant. Quadrant nga is 4, di ba? So, may quadrant. So, window. First quadrant, you know something about yourself that others don't know. Di ba? Second quadrant, you know something about yourself and others know also. So, another shift, there's something you don't know about yourself that others know. Napapansin nila sa'yo. Yeah. Of course, yung fourth, you don't know and they don't know. So yung third, we must know that. Yung mga hindi natin alam tapos napapansin nila. So we must always beg for feedback. In the practice of spirituality, we must have teacher that we are open. So hindi ibig sabihin may mentor ka na bibigyan ka agad ng feedback. We must beg for it. Si Arjuna ganun ginawa niya. Sisyasteham sadimam tuam prapanam. Now I am soul surrendered unto you. I'm your disciple. Please instruct me. So proper questions in the mood of request. So that will be the guide. Automatic to. Because old habits die hard. Ano yung old habits natin? Ego. Self-righteousness. We are the body. So that's the old habits. We want to remove that consistently. So if we have a guide, we have a teacher, mentor, they could guide us. Depende rin dun sa surrenderness natin. And it will be really hard minsan. Kasi attached tayo dun sa mga bagay-bagay. So that will be finding a sweet spot, of course. Like si Arjuna, you have to fight, sabi ni Krishna. Same thing, if you have work, if you have family, you have to be much more responsible and dutiful. More than ever. Bakit? You have the deeper reason. You have the deeper purpose in connection kay Krishna. So take care of your family members. And be much more tolerant. Yeah. So pag may nag-away, be neutral. Kasi minsan, yung simpleng pagkampi or hindi pagkampi, lumalala yung sitwasyon eh. So the best way, minsan, di mo magkasalita, you have to be yung action mo, di ba? You develop that character na pinag-aralan natin and apply it. Diba? Galing mo magluto para pag mag-aaway sila, magluto ka lang masarap. Nagkabati-batian. So same thing, di ba? Galingan mo lalo sa arts mo, sa work mo, sa business mo. Kasi you know, para saan mo na ginagawa to. Before I tried to read the book, this is, alam mo yun, sikat siya eh. Alam mo yun, daming motivation speaker, but may book siya, si Simon Sinek, Start with Why. So, lagi mo hanapin ng bakit mo ginagawa yung purpose mo. To help others, to make an impact sa world, to leave a legacy. Magaling yung mga deeper pa bukod dun sa money. Pero may mas deeper pa dun. Para saan yung legacy? After some time, lahat ng rebulto sa Manila. Sige nga, sino dito yung kabisado lahat ng rebulto sa Manila? Di ba? Punta ka sa monumento, kabisado mo ba yung mga nasa mga katipunero doon? Or sa QC, yung mga scout? Or sa Chinatown, di ba? Parang titing, sino kaya to? They leave a legacy. Ngayon, di mo sila kilala. Right? Diba? Lahat na sa history book nakakalimutan din. Kasi that's time. We are under Krishna time. Diba? The moment na inisip natin yun, we're still, alam mo yun, may pride. Kahit patay ka na, may pride ka. Dapat kilala pa rin nila ako. That's how people fight before. Pag natalo kita, buburahin ko lahat sa history book yung king na yan. Yan yung pride nila. But no, we don't want that. Yes, Makoy Prabhu. Kita-kits bukas yan. We want to serve Krishna, whatever happens. So, ganun din yung purpose deeper natin. We want to connect everything kay Krishna. So, in that way, we will do, alam mo yun, magiging better boyfriend ka, asawa ka, anak ka, or sa business mo. Kasi it's not your business anymore. It's not your family anymore. It's Krishna's family already. Kung may altar ka sa bahay, it's not your home anymore. It's Krishna's. So, siya naman automatic, pero in-invite mo siya dyan eh. You cannot say si Krishna yung parang ano mo lang, nasa guest room mo lang. No, he owns everything. So, of course, if you're taking care of your family members, agree or not, favorable or not sila sa practice mo, they will be curious. Okay, effective yung ginagawa niyung spirituality, nagbago siya. Pero pag may ginawa ka mali, sisisihin niya. Ba yung sinasabi nung pagka-practice mo ng yoga sa ng Hare Krishna, ganyan yung kalabasan. Di ba? Si Mara talaga. Di ba? Ganun yun, di ba? Ang dami sabihin. What is happening this morning? Same. Kaya, the action speaks louder than words. Of course, you don't have to preach. It's not that. Yung preach kasi na word, the original term is prachar in Sanskrit. The preach the word is my sermon. We're not, hindi nyo naman ako kitang, sana hindi nyo na-feel na nag-sermon ako sa inyo. So, tawa lang tayo ng tawa. Pero that's the thing. We must practice it. We must be better kung ano yung meron ka ngayon. Diba? Galingan mo lalo. Ano ba rin, diba? Andyan ka sa position na yan. If you're a politician, galingan mo. Pero be spiritual. If you're an artist, galingan mo. But be an artist. Indirectly or indirectly. If you're a son, diba, galingan mo maging anak or maging asawa. Diba? Sino? Ayan, si Krisha. Tapos next si Bea. Yes, Krisha. Nasagot ko ba yung question mo, Mara?
Hi, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, this is not related, but also kind of related. I just want to ask a question because I saw Maui post something on her Instagram. She said something like, "Forget a soulmate. Your soul needs you." And then I was like, "Whoa, that's so deep." Like, and then also I came into reflection about what soulmates really mean. Like, is that a material world attachment also? Because if yes, like, should we still like honor them if it's a material world attachment? Isn't that against the purpose of Krishna consciousness and the end of the means that we're practicing?
Ganda na question. Sakto, Valentine's na. Si Cupid is Kandarpa. He is also a demigod. And very beautiful. Tapos may 5 arrows siya. Siguro explain ko next. Palayan nyo sa akin, explain natin yung 5 arrows ni Kandarpa, ni Cupid. Although, si Cupid, thousands of Cupid are attracted kay Krishna. So, soulmate, ginagamit natin term na to kasi medyo romanticize talaga lahat, di ba? You're looking for your soulmate, di ba? This is true. Pero minsan, di lang yung soulmate, di lang maganda yung relationship niyo. Minsan yung soulmate mo, kaaway mo rin. Kailangan nyo magkita dito. Magkaaway kayo last life, di ba? This time, tutuloy nyo yung pag-aaway nyo. Unless you'll become tolerant, you'll become forgiving. Hanggang mahinto na yung cycle na yun. Soulmate pa rin yun. And enemies muna. Yung ibang enemies mo dati, alam mo, pag because of karma, alam mo saan sila best kayo makikita ng soulmate mo, ng soul enemy mo? Sa relatives, sa bahay. The more na mas close sa'yo, the more na mas matindi yung sakit na bibigay niya sa'yo. If you're betrayed by a best friend, compare mo yun sa betrayal ng isang boyfriend, girlfriend, mas masakit, diba? Mas mababroken heart ka sa kaibigan. Or, sabihin mo na, sige, may kahit partner, loved one, ka-family member. Pag may sinabi sila sa'yo, mas masakit kaya sa'yo narinig mo lang sa mga hindi mo kakilala. And minsan masakit talaga sa ulo yung ano, di ba? I don't know if yung ibang magulang, in-explain nila to eh. Sila yung nagsabi nun. Sometimes yung karma mo, either magiging agent mo yung family member mo, agent sila ng karma. Hindi sila yung ginawa mo, no? Pero sila yung magbibigay ng karma mo. Or sila talaga mismo. So, minsan ganun din. May tao na parang irritable ka kagad, parang wala namang ginagawa sa'yo. Soulmates din kayo, pero negatively. So, may ganun din. It's attachment. This life, next life. May ganun sa astrology. Diba? Titingnan nila kung compatible sila. Oh yeah, sabi ng astrologer, last life pala mag-asawa na kayo or magnanay kayo last life. Diba? Meron kayong connection talaga. Or many lifetimes kayo mag-asawa na. Too much attachment. That would be spiritualized if yung soulmates mo, parehas din kayong spiritual. Diba? Ride or die kayo spiritually. Hindi kayo ride or die materially. And one way or the other, maghihiwalay din. Sometimes, for some lives, magkasama kayo. So, sa Srimad Bhagavatam, it was even discussed. Si Krishna, lagi niya kasama si Radharani. Pag nag-descend siya rito, si Narayan, kasama niya si Sita, di ba? Or si Vishnu, si Lakshmi. So, lagi niya kasama. Us, di ba? You might have hundreds of wives before, boyfriends before. Kaya ito yung forgetfulness na part, di ba? Imagine mo naalala mo lahat ng ex mo, di ba? Soulmate, di ba? Pero pag break na kayo, hindi na kayo soulmate, nagsisisi ka na. Di ba? Yung next mo, hindi ikaw talaga yung soulmate ka. Masaya lang kayo ngayon kaya soulmate. Pero pag magkaaway na kayo, hindi nyo maiisip yun. Di ba? Or depende kung gano'n kalawak yung mag-iisip na lang. Kaya magkaaway kaya tayo. Soulmates, pwedeng groups yun, di ba? They incarnate by groups. People incarnate by groups. Kasi may mga certain karma sila. Pero we find that connection, spiritual connection. Much deeper yung spiritual connection, like the guru and the student. The guru will not go back to Krishna hanggat di niya lahat ng students niya. Lahat ng disciple niya. And kada life, kumuha rin siya ng mga bagong disciple. That's how selfless he is. Yeah. So, taking the role ng isang guru, di ba? Yung iba parang gusto ng pseudo-guru. Hindi siya biro. Because responsibility mo, hindi lang lifetime na to. Many lifetimes yun. So, soulmates, ganun din. There will be different karmas, good and bad, para dun sa partner na yun. Minsan may expiration. Diba? You have to accept that. Na till death do us part. Minsan hindi. Diba? Lalo na ngayon, hindi mo na kailangan lumayo. Somewhere the other, sa loob or sa labas ng bahay or sa street nyo, may divorce. May naghiwalay. Diba? Hindi nangyari yung for better or worse till death do us part. Hindi, di ba? Kung gano'n dapat, di ba, lahat. So, yeah, yung iba yung karma nila hanggang doon lang eh. Or may choice sila, may free will sila, or uncontrolled senses. Soulmates sila pero hindi, unfaithful sila sa soulmates nila. May gano'n. So, masyado lang na-romanticize sa media, na-romanticize ng marketing, di ba, lahat to attract person, attract your soulmate, look for your soulmate. Pero, makita mo talaga yung tao na deeply connected kayo. Di ba may mga ganun na 12 years sila mag-boyfriend, girlfriend, nag-break sila tapos pinakasalan niya yung 6 months pa lang nakilala niya. You wouldn't know. That would be lost or love unless you study this philosophy. So, soulmates are true, but hindi lang yung partners. Minsan may best friend din sila. Soulmates pa rin naman sila. Best friend sila previous life. Magkaaway sila. Pero we want to have that spiritual soulmates. Or your guru, your soul in connection. So, still temporariness is there. Temporariness is there. Baka for certain lives, kasama kayo doon, you have to part ways then. Just like here, di ba? In life na to. Yung mga best friend mo nung high school, college, wala na. May sarili-sariling buhay. So, sana hindi ko napatay yung fire nung Valentine's. No? Yeah. Pero, yeah. Malalaman nyo rin regarding Valentine's. Um, regarding my connection sa Valentine's. Bakit ko kinukwento palagi si Cupid? Um, yes, Bea.
Hello po, Hare Krishna. My question is, in terms of staying neutral, does it also apply to people? Kasi parang, siguro based from personal experience na din. And I also just noticed na there are certain beliefs and maybe like society also in general na parang there's this somewhat pressure to forgive people, and sometimes it's typically hard, especially when we come to things na victims,
Mm.
like you know how yung iba parang they want you na parang you have to forgive your abusers, yung mga ganon.
Mm-hmm.
And also with people that have caused you trauma or have hurt you, with it, yung mismo question ko is it possible to be neutral na parang you don't necessarily like forgive them na parang okay na kayo, best friends na kayo, pass is pass, yung ganon. Pero also, you don't mean any harm to them. Na parang wala ka nang, hindi ka galit. Like if you see them, you wouldn't wish na, ay sana matapilok siya. Parang just staying neutral na, especially kasi 'di ba in spirituality, there's always this thing na you hear na parang you cut off those things or people who no longer serve you. And parang that's one of the things na I always think about na, is it okay ba to be in that neutral place na kunyari yon with people who have hurt you na, you know what, like, I'm not mad at you, pero I don't necessarily want you back in my life. Like, is that
Mm.
okay? Or is that selfish ba? Parang, yun, that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Ang ganda ng construction mo ng sentence, how you compose it. And, di ba, you could agree, when you hear Bea, you also have some realization, no, yung nag-unfold dun sa question niya. Yeah, the answer is there as well. That's why, talaga naiintindihan mo si Bhagavad Gita. That's neutrality. That's neutrality. You don't have to, alam mo yun, hindi mo kailangan maging toxic positive. Na, kailangan, alam mo yun, parang kalimutan mo lahat tapos balik mo lahat ng relation. Hindi mo magagawa yun. Trust is there, pwede mo-break in trust. Diba? That's why meron tayong respect from a distance. Hindi mo kailangan magpaka-martyr or magpaka-marupok lang. But you don't have to carry the baggage. Because it's for us. Yung grudge na dadalin natin, it's just like drinking a poison and expecting others to die. Tapos sila naka-move on na. Tapos ikaw ano ka pa rin. Dala-dala mo pa rin yun. So, yeah, it will take courage. But you don't have to pressure yourself or, alam mo yun, people, sometimes, alam mo yun, lahat ng tao is, therapist na, lahat ng tao may advice. No, lahat ng tao may, alam mo yun, kahit wala namang, this is, ito yung pilit ko, try na hindi ko gawin palagi. If people are not asking for advice, I'm not giving it. Or minsan tatanong ko ba, do you want me to listen or do you want me to, or seeking for, di ba? So minsan ganun eh. Or Facebook, comment, lahat sila may advice, lahat sila expert. So yeah, sabi nga time will heal all wounds eh. And guess what? Sino yung time? Si Krishna. Actually, Krishna heals all wounds. Diba? Once, yung reciprocation niya, one click, he could give the light, lamp of knowledge. He could give the light to the darkness. Sometimes you don't have to focus. Paano ba papatawarin to? Kailangan ka pa bumalik dun sa mga nakaraan? Diba? Kailangan ko ba mag-hypnotherapy? Puntahan yung past lives ko? Kasi namatay na siya eh. Kailangan ko pa puntahan yung bata ako, yung moment na yun. Or makita ko yung parents ko na bata sila once in their lives. Then may mga issues din sila. Minsan hindi natin afford yung time, yung effort para puntahan yung mga yon. So that's why Krishna is there. Krishna will take care of everything. But of course, I'm not saying na, alam mo yun, hindi mo daanan yung process na kailangan mo daanan for healing. You can still do that. But may limitation. Diba? Paano papatawarin yung patay na? You're just waiting for person to ask for forgiveness. diba? So it's not bad, of course. We deserve that as well. Pero yung real self-care, pwede mong gawin yun. Then ask forgiveness in behalf of him. Kahit yung learning how to forgive even a person doesn't want or doesn't claim. Diba? And of course, na-mention din yung playing a role of a victim. That's why we understand karma. If we understand karma, okay, I probably did something worse previous life ko. Bakit nangyari to? And have a news for you. Baka tayo na sa third world country, we did something. If we're so much pious, baka tayo na sa Pilipinas. Diba? Pati tayo dun sa mga bansang kahit wala kang trabaho, may sustento yung gobyerno. Tapos libre magpa-hospital. Diba? Baka tayo nandito. Because in our previous lives, we might be in a situation na, or may mga choices tayo, may mga decision making tayo na mga hindi siguro magaganda. May mga bad decisions tayo. And we're just celebrating it now. We're just harvesting all this now. So previously, baka meron tayong mga nagawa to that person. So having that, ang lawak ng consciousness and understanding, di ba? Hindi mo lang nakikita yung hurt people. Baka may trauma rin siya yung bata siya. Nakaisip mo pa yung previous lives. So being neutral, okay, nagigets mo yung mga to with understanding, hindi blindly. Nagigets mo to mga to, I have to stop this karma. I don't have to be a victim ng mga tao na to. I could respect them in the distance. Then I don't also have to spend a lot of energy and time just ill-wishing yung tao na yun. Parang sabi nga, ayoko may mangyari din sa kanya, di ba? Mamaya, yung wini-wish ko mangyari, mag-guilty pa ako, di ba? Remember, the closer you are kay Krishna, the more yung desire niya naririnig. The desire mo naririnig niya. Diba? You don't want to wish, diba? We don't want to curse anyone. Although, devotees would have that much more voice in cursing, but we don't want to practice that. Diba? We want the karma to stop. So, ayun yung line na yun. So, yung cycle na yun. Bakit? Kasi don't want to go back here again and again. Gets nyo? Kasi okay, you ill-wish. Tapos, next life, ano yung next? No? Ikot ulit, ikaw naman yun. Diba? So, hindi lang one time yun, maraming beses yun. Even kaya yung diet natin, we want to change our lifestyle. Kasi we don't want to go back here. We want to finish yung mga karmic activities. We want to spiritualize everything. And you cannot spiritualize a curse. Although sa deeper scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, a saintly person can curse. Pero ang curse na yon is for them to learn and mas magiging closer kay Krishna. But we cannot do that. We must not be self-righteous. Nandun tayo sa sitwasyon na yun. I will curse you para mas maging... Although may story, di ba napanood nyo si Ito lumalayo na ako sa story. Ay, sa answer. Napanood nyo si Hare Krishna film. Sa time sa communist country pa rin yung Russia nun. So devotees were being, from one book of the Bhagavad Gita, na iniwan nila sila Prabhupada doon. Hindi ko matandaan kung napunta yung story doon. They went there not planning to bring a Bhagavad Gita kasi pwede silang ikulong sa airport pa lang. Pero yung asawa nung devotee na punta doon, okay ba, kailangan nila ng Bhagavad Gita? Not thinking. So, nandun sila Prabhupada yung disciples niya sa airport. So, mandatory check ng bag. Pagbukas nila, nagtingin na sila, nagulat sila, ba't may Bhagavad Gita dito? So, chinek nung airport officer. Pagbuklat niya, madaming bookmark and mga picture ni Krishna nalaglag. So, nag-guilty yung airport officer. Tapos, I'm very sorry. Kinuha niya, pinik niya. Tapos, hindi niya chinek kung ano yung libro. Pinapasa niya. Ayun yung nakalusot na book sa Russia. Tapos, after some time, na-meet nga nila yung person na yun sa baba ng hotel. Tapos, they have met Prabhupada. Then, Prabhupada taught them the Bhakti. Then, left that Bhagavad Gita. Tapos, translate niya, tapos pinasa-pasa niya. So, habang nangyari yon, people are much more hungry sa spiritual life. Like sa China ngayon, sakto Chinese New Year. Communist country pa rin si China. So, pag napunta kami sa China, we don't wear this. So, huwag niyo ako susumbungan. So, we don't wear this. We're tourists, we're normal and all. But people are very hungry. Thousands. You can watch yung video na ginawa ko sa China, yung sa mga devotees doon, sa YouTube. But yeah, sa Russia, before, ganun sila. And mas malala kasi they torture people. They torture devotees. Literal. Kinukulong, tina-torture. Kaya may libro na they practice this spirituality sa loob ng kulungan. Salty bread, parang ganun. So what happened was, nilagay sa court yung isang girl na devotee. Tapos alam mo ginawa niya, nag-act siya, kunyari witch siya. If you're gonna continue torturing the devotees, I will curse you. Pero alam mo yung curse niya? I will curse you na maging yung mga anak niyo maging devotee ni Krishna. Alam mo yung nangyari? Yung anak ng judge. Although, yung nangyari yung curse, natakot din sila. Tapos parang pinakawalan nila yung ano. Pero yung anak ng judge naging devotee nga. And true enough, yung nag-open yung Russia. Ngayon, sobrang daming temples sa Russia. Nakita nyo, ang daming ano doon. Ang daming devotee, ang daming artists na devotee, ang dami. Kahit sa fashion, may mga devotee doon, may makikita ka doon. Sa India ngayon, yung mga nag-yoga, ang daming Russian. It is because of that endeavor. So yeah, ayun yung curse niya, maging devotee. So, being neutral is knowing yung knowledge behind sa nangyayari. And hindi mo na kailangan sumakay dun sa karma na yun. Of course, minsan yung emotion natin nadadala tayo. But the practice of bhakti, pinapaiksi niya yung realization time. Yung iba after 10 years, talaga, ganun lang pala kadali yun after ng mga session na ng mga therapy. I just have to say, I forgive him. Tapos gumana yung pakaramdam ko. Dinala ko yung for 15 years. Or 10 years. May ganun, di ba? Tapos, all throughout that pain, nakakause ka rin ng pain sa ibang tao. So, that practice of bhakti, this knowledge, magiging snap of a finger na lang siya. Mabad trip ka pa rin, di ba? Or maasar ka pa rin. Tapos, after some time, na-realize mo na kagad, na fast track mo. That's the yoga philosophy. So, may story si Arjuna, ano nangyari sa kanya? Nung na-stress siya, okay, need the teacher. Or maybe I need to ask my teacher. So, sa Srimad Bhagavatam, marami ding story that we could relate. We can learn, the first class learner are learning from others' experience. And Krishna has given us this through the books. So yes, becoming neutral, you don't have to ride again yung karma, yung cycle ng karma. Okay. Using the knowledge, using the right character, the right action, execution from the Bhagavad Gita, then you can live your life without carrying all these baggages. So, ganun din yung happiness, di ba? Pag nawala yung happiness mo, nawala yung in love ka, okay ka naman yung single ka eh. Pero yung todo in love ka, tapos naghiwalay kayo, depressed ka na. Pero, alam mo yun, parang tingnan mo, okay ka naman single ka eh. Ba't dumating mo sa buhay ko to? Same thing with happiness. Mawawala yung happiness. Mag-fade away siya. Like, material happiness, automatic nag-fade away yun. Diba? May iPhone 13 ka. Pag lumabas yung iPhone 14, hindi na maganda yung phone mo. Mabagal na. Literally din, pag nag-update ka raw ng iPhone, pinapabagal niya yung phone mo. But yeah, parang ganon. Diba? So happiness is also temporary. So you have to be neutral on this. But you don't have to be impersonal. You can still smile, celebrate, diba? Pero you don't have to be attached. You can still cry. You can still feel the pain. But you don't have to be attached to that pain. And that pleasure. So, you know yung real relationship kay Krishna. Hopefully, na-answer ko yung mga questions ninyo. And looking forward dun sa art assignments. I'll see you tomorrow for our 15th session. 15th session na. And also, if you want to join the morning sessions, you can do your sadhana with us. Maraming salamat, Krisha, Mara, Shara, Dan, Bea, Maui, Maya, Keiko, Aika, Kevs, and Kenny. You have wonderful questions. Gusto ko sa batch na to, ang ganda ng questions ninyo. And if you have personal questions, you can message me. And also, yes, continuous pa rin yun. I've met some of the students already in this batch. We have some sessions, yung mga Zoom calls. So just like personal kwentuhan, they ask questions and all. So yeah, just message me. We can have some schedule then. I might go, mako-confirm ko pa tonight, I might be in Poblacion, Makati tomorrow before our class. I'll visit some, I'll, I'll, I'll announce tomorrow morning kung ano yung situation. I'll need to call my brother tonight. Tumatawag siya kanina. Tapos if you're around the area, maybe we could meet. Hare Krishna, everyone. Good night. Don't die. And see you tomorrow. Bye.